Hello friends, brothers and sisters. My name is Denmark and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Have you ever tried posting something on social media and kept going back at that post, counting how many likes it got? Well, I know I have. And this relates more closely to the gospel for today than you think. From the Gospel of John, Jesus says, "If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. If you belong to the world, it would love you as its own. As it is, you do not belong to the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. That is why the world hates you. Remember what I told you, a servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will persecute you also. If they obeyed my teaching, they will obey yours also. They will treat you this way because of my name, for they do not know the one who sent me." There's this nature within us that craves to belong, to get along, or to be accepted by other people. That's simply how we are made. We are social beings. But sadly for us, the sense of fitting in is so important that sometimes we are willing to compromise even at the cost of our own beliefs and identity. The feeling of conforming to your workplace despite seeing the practice of wrong values, or conforming to a popular consensus with regards to politics just because a majority of people feel that way, or staying in a relationship which you know is sinful and going nowhere because you just don't want to be rejected. In the gospel today, Jesus speaks to his disciples about the reality of persecution and rejection that they would face just because of their allegiance to him. He prepares them for the hostility they will encounter from the world, emphasizing that if the world hated him, it will also hate them. It's a sad fact that it still is the same today. And it's a challenging reality to grapple with, especially in a world that frequently gives importance to self-interest and conformity over the radical love and sacrificial service that Jesus embodies. In my own life, I've experienced moments where my faith has clashed with the norms and expectations of today's society. There have been times when standing up for my beliefs has led to misunderstanding, criticism, or even ostracism from others. And oftentimes, these experiences can be very discouraging. Jesus' words serve as both a warning and a source of comfort for his followers. He acknowledges the reality of persecution and hatred that we will encounter as we live out our faith in a hostile world. This challenges us to consider the cost of discipleship and the willingness to stand firm on our beliefs, even in the face of opposition and rejection. As Jesus' disciples, we are called to navigate these challenges with faith, courage, and grace. He reminds that we are not alone in our struggles. Despite the opposition we face, Jesus promises to be with us. As we reflect on the gospel for today, I want to share some points of reflection for all of you. 1. Find your identity in Christ. Ground your sense of worth and significance in your relationship with Christ rather than in the opinion and acceptance of others. Remember that you are chosen and loved by Jesus, regardless of how others may perceive you. 2. Lean on Christ's presence. Trust in the promise of Christ's abiding presence with you, especially in moments of fear and rejection. You can draw strength and courage from his companionship, knowing that he understands your struggles and is with you every step of the way. 3. Change your perspective. See rejection as an opportunity for growth rather than as a reflection of your worth. Recognize that facing opposition for your faith is a natural part of discipleship and can ultimately deepen your dependence on Christ and strengthen your character. 4. Practice forgiveness. Follow Jesus' example of extending grace and forgiveness to those who oppose you. By letting go of bitterness and resentment, you free yourself from the power of rejection and in turn grow in a spirit of love and compassion. And lastly, find support in community. Surround yourself with fellow believers who can offer encouragement, prayer, and solidarity in times of struggle. Share your fears and concerns with trusted friends or people who can provide guidance and support as you go through these things. Ultimately, the gospel today challenges us to examine our commitment to Christ and the extent to which we are willing to stand firm in our faith, even in the midst of opposition. It invites us to trust in Christ's presence and promises, knowing that he has overcome the world and that his love and grace are sufficient to sustain us through every trial and hardship. Have you been blessed by today's reflection? Please like and share this video with your friends and loved ones. Again, my name is Denmark Gillesania, and have a blessed day.